Hello everyone. Thank you for watching my video. I wish you and your family good health and happiness. Amidst the stormy days of life, the love of Tien and Jack still quietly blossomed, overcoming many losses and challenges. The video, Tien and Jack, Love Story After Stormy Days, will take you to a touching story, where faith, courage and sincere love become the guiding light in the darkness. Please follow along. The sky was bright. The sky was blue without a cloud. The gentle sunlight spread down on each leaf, shining through the gaps between the trees, shimmering like gold. The cool air, the smell of morning dew mixed with the scent of young grass made people feel strangely light. Tien carried the familiar pink basket on her shoulder, the small gift that Jack had given her the day before, and walked briskly along the path leading to the plum garden behind the farm. The plum garden today seemed to be bright in the sunlight. The ripe plums were red and plump, swaying in the light breeze, peeking out from the green leaves. She reached out to pick the ripest one, then took a delicious bite. The sweet and sour taste spread throughout her mouth, making her laugh softly with joy. The flavor of the plums that she had grown herself was unlike any fruit bought from the market. Without hesitation, Tien began to pick each ripe plum, carefully selecting them, gently placing them in the basket. Her hands were agile, her eyes sparkling with joy. She picked and hummed a familiar tune, occasionally looking up to admire the vast sky and the birds flying freely. When the basket was full, she put it down under the tree, then sat with her back against the old plum tree, relaxing her whole body. Tien took a deep breath, closed her eyes, fully enjoying the cool, fresh breeze and the rare feeling of peace. The sky and earth today seemed to open wide, as if they were embracing her. After a few minutes of relaxation, she stood up, put the basket back on her shoulder, then leisurely walked down the village road, carrying the fragrant, ripe red plums to the market to sell, bringing the joy from the small garden to everyone. The village road in the morning was bustling with the sound of roosters crowing, the sound of bicycles clattering and the calls of women and girls rushing to the market early. Tien carried plums on her shoulder, walking slowly on the red dirt road covered with dew, her simple dress fluttering in the light wind. She smiled and greeted acquaintances on both sides of the road. Everyone was surprised and said, "Oh, are you going to the market to sell today, Tien?" She just smiled gently. "Yes. The plums in my garden are ripe. I'll pick some to sell for fun." Arriving at the market, she chose a small corner near the banyan tree at the beginning of the vegetable row. Spreading a brown cloth on the ground, she poured out the plums in small bunches, the ripe fruits glistening in the sun, making a corner of the market red. The gentle fragrance spread out, making passers-by turn to look. A vegetable seller nearby nodded, "What a beautiful plum. Just looking at it makes me want to eat it right away." Soon, housewives who went to the morning market began to gather around, try a piece, and then buy the whole bunch. One woman even told her, "Pick some more tomorrow. Save them for the kids to love." Tien talked happily while selling, her face radiant, her eyes sparkling with simple joy. The cloth bag containing money was getting heavier, but her heart was light. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the early morning market, she felt like she was truly a part of this land, no longer a girl lost in the storm, but a woman who was gradually building her life with her own hands and warm heart. And somewhere in her mind, she thought of Jack, the one who gave her the faith and motivation to start over. From small things like this, Jack put on his helmet, put on his protective jacket, and rode his motorbike to the end of the village, where the riverbank dike was being repaired after the recent flood. The road leading to the dike was still covered in mud, with fields on both sides reviving, with young green rice just taking root after many days of flooding. The chirping of birds on the bamboo rows rustled like a song signaling a new day full of hope. Jack parked his motorbike on the grassy side and followed the dirt road straight to the construction site. From afar, he could hear the sound of chisels, the sound of mixing mortar, and the lively chatter of the construction workers. He walked faster, wondering, "I wonder how far they've come." As soon as he arrived, He saw a group of 5 or 6 people busily pouring concrete and reinforcing the unfinished foundations. Sweat was dripping, but everyone was enthusiastic. No one complained. Uncle Tien, a longtime master craftsman in the village, saw Jack and waved. Jack came just in time. "We are planning to add a few more sections to extend to the other side of the field. That place is very weak. It almost broke the other day." Jack nodded, approached to look at the blueprint, then walked along the dike, his eyes not missing any details. Sandbags, bricks, stones, and steel piles were neatly arranged. The new dike sections had begun to take shape, much stronger than before. He breathed a sigh of relief. There was still a lot of work to do, but it was clear that everyone had worked hard without rest. "Do it carefully, guys. It can withstand storms in the future. If you need more materials next time, just let me know," Jack instructed, his eyes determined. He knew that each solid dike section not only protected the fields, houses, but also kept the peace for a small community, where he and Lytutien were rebuilding their lives every day after the losses. Lytutien on her way home from the market. She suddenly heard the sound of a car coming from afar. Turning her head, she immediately recognized the familiar car approaching. Jack, still with his shirt rolled up, his sleeves covered in dust, his face tanned, and his eyes always shining with steadfastness. He had just returned from inspecting the embankment project. Lytutien smiled, waved and called, "Jack." Jack stopped the car, smiling when he saw her. "Are you coming back from the market? Did you sell anything?" "Very good. Everyone says the plums in my garden are delicious," she said, her eyes sparkling. Then, unable to hold back, she stepped closer, looking at him carefully. The gentle wind blew, her hair fluttering across her forehead. "Are you tired? You've been walking since morning." Jack just smiled, gently placed his hand on her basket strap, and gestured, "Let me help you carry it." After a few words of conversation under the midday sun, Jack took the basket from Lytutien's shoulder and placed it on the bike. The bike started and rolled on the red dirt road leading to Jack's house. The two of them didn't say much, just occasionally smiling at each other. Such peaceful moments, simple, but they calmed people's hearts after many stormy days. Hearing the sound of the car coming back, she looked up and smiled gently when she saw her 2 children coming in. "You're back just in time. The pot of sour soup has just boiled," she called out loudly. Lytutien did not hesitate, took off her basket and placed it in the corner of the house. Then quickly walked into the kitchen. She washed her hands, rolled up her sleeves, then walked over to Jack's mother. Politely, "Let me help you cook." Jack's mother nodded happily, handing her a basket of vegetables she had just picked from the backyard. "Wash these vegetables for me. Then season the sour soup for me." The 2 women, one old and one young, stood next to each other in the small but cozy kitchen, their laughter mixed with the crackling fire. Jack stood on the porch looking in, his heart strangely warm. That scene, simple yet so familiar, like a whisper about the home that was gradually taking shape. That lunch took place in an unusually cozy atmosphere. On the dinner tray were rich braised fish, sweet and sour soup, golden fried eggs, and a plate of ripe plums that Lytutien had just brought back from the market. The 3 of them sat together, chatting animatedly. Jack's mother asked about the market, about the fruit in the garden, occasionally looking at Lytutien with affectionate and meaningful eyes. Lytutien smiled brightly, feeling the closeness and love that didn't need to be expressed. She looked at Jack, the man who was silently picking up the best piece of fish for her, and thought to herself, perhaps true happiness was meals like this, someone cooking, someone waiting, someone sitting next to her. No need for luxury, just sincerity and full of love. It was late at night, but the night wind still caressed the treetops outside the porch. The soft yellow light covered the quiet faces of Lytutien and Jack. They sat next to each other, hand in hand, quietly listening to the sound of insects echoing from the backyard. There was no need for flowery words. Between them was a gentle understanding like breathing. Jack tilted his head to look at Lytutien, his eyes shining with a rare gentleness. He slowly told about the dream he often had, a small house in the middle of a garden, with a wooden fence, with the sound of children giggling in the yard. He said he didn't need much. He just wanted to wake up every morning to see her beside him. And every night to cook together, take care of the garden together, and tell each other the little things of the day. Tien smiled slightly. Her eyes filled with tears, but her heart was unusually warm. She never thought that one day she would sit next to a man who thought about their future with such a sincere heart. In that moment, the storms that had passed seemed to disappear, leaving only hope that seeped into every breath of the night.
Tuổi tiên và các chuyện tình sau những ngày năm bão không chỉ là một câu chuyện tình yêu mà còn là hành trình vượt qua bóng tối của quá khứ, vạch trần những bí mật bị chôn giấu suốt nhiều năm. Tuổi tiên là con gái mang trái tim đầy vết xước sau sự cố gia đình, sắc chàng trai ngoại quốc mang ơn cứu mạng, sẵn sàng dấn thân vào quê hương nghèo nũ để tìm lại công lý cho người yêu. Cả hai chàng chồng tưởng chừng đã mất nhau sau cơn lũ lịch sử, nhưng định mệnh lại một lần nữa để họ đặt họ vào vòng xoáy của sự thật nghiệt ngã. Một chiếc hộp ố cũ kỹ được tìm thấy được tình yêu có đủ mạnh để hai con người tha thứ, đứng lên và bảo vệ nhau rất dòng vào cuộc đời. Nước công lý có được thực thi hay sẽ lại bị trong vườn nước vườn của tội lỗi và dối trá.